Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Thanks so much for joining. Remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you'll get notified every time I post. So let's get right into the video. Today I'll be talking about how to grow spiritually as a Christian. And number one is you have to identify your weak areas, slash you have to identify the areas in your life that has room for improvement, and there's always room for improvement. Because for me, I wanted to grow spiritually, and then I realized that I wasn't reading my Bible as much, I wasn't praying as much, and I was doing a lot of things of self instead of doing them of God. And you have to look into yourself and say, am I at the same place in my Christian walk as I was when I just started out? And if the answer is yes, then you know that you need to start working, because as a Christian, you should be growing, you should be evolving. And you have to surround yourself with positive things. You have to ensure that you're in a godly environment, that you're not just feeding yourself with things that are not positive and things that are not of God. Because in Psalm 1 verse 1 it says, "Blessed is the man that walketh not in the counsel of the ungodly, nor standeth in the way of a sinner, nor sitteth in the seat of the scornful." So you have to ensure that you're feeding yourself with positive stuff. And the next thing, you need to have an appetite for God. You need to start craving God, because this is how you're going to walk in this journey. Because you have to have that appetite for God. You have to start craving God. You have to walk more, and this will help you. This will push you, in your journey to work towards your spirituality, or to work on your spirituality. And I know a lot of persons struggle with praying and reading their Bible, and I struggle with that too, but I'll talk about that in a next video. And the next thing is, you need to pray about it. You need to give God space in your life. You need to let Him use you. Lord, let your will be done in my life. Lord, I want to be used by you. And having that communication with God will develop intimacy, and it will help you to grow. Because for me, I started to talk to God a lot more. I started to pray a lot more, because I wanted to be used by God. The music in my background, no, but I wanted to be used by God. So I started to telling Him that, God, I want to be used by you. Lord, I want to do things that are of you. And it kind of helped me change my mind space, and it became a habit for me now to be constantly talking to God. Whether I'm walking, whatever I'm doing, it's now a habit for me to constantly be talking to God. And that really helped me with my intimacy with God, because now every time I think about doing something, I'm telling Him about what I'm going to do. And it's like it just does something for me. And because I'm like, God, I'm thinking about doing this, Lord, what do you think? And then I sit and I wait for an answer. And it helped me really in my spirituality. It was just talking to God, just communicating to God. And as I say, talking to God, you can't just be talking to Him like a friend. You don't have to be having all the big word, nothing fancy. Just talking to Him just like a friend. It's just praying to Him, because He said that we are His friend. So we can just talk to God, and that really helped me, in my spiritual journey, and helped me, grow spiritually. And the next thing is that you have to meditate on the Word of God, slash you have to read the Word of God. I know sometimes this can be challenging, but you have to try to read the Word of God, because also it says in Psalm 1 verse 2 and 3, it says, and his delight in the Lord in the law of the Lord, and in His law doth he meditate day and night. And he shall be like a tree planted by the rivers of water, that bringeth forth his fruit in his season. His leaf also shall not wither it, and whatsoever he does shall prosper. So when you start reading the Word of God, you'll start to bear fruit, because you want to grow spiritually, and you need to start doing things of God, and you need to know what is in His Word. you need to know what is in his word, and you need to know God for yourself, because as I say, you want to know what is your relationship with God outside of the church. When you don't have nobody for you explain until when you don't have nobody for you tell you nothing, you understand, so you know the word for yourself. So, and it's in your heart, you meditate it on it, you will start to bear fruit, and that will help you a lot in your spiritual walk. And the next one is you have to be willing to move. You know, you have to start being obedient to God, because now you have been doing all these steps to grow spiritually in God. And when you start going spiritually in God, when you invite God in your life, like to use you, he's going to use you. So whether he's telling you something to tell somebody, whether he's giving you a mission, whatever he gives you to do, you have to now be willing to do it, because you wanted him to use it. And I know this one can be tough, because for me now, I was like, God, do whatever, use me, whatever you want me to do. And some of the things like what God want me to do, I'm like, that's not me. Like, that's not me, God. I cannot do that. You know, I cannot do that. You know, I'm just all of a sudden like Moses, Lord, I cannot talk. I cannot do that. I don't want to do that. And you know, I have to try my best. I pray about it. I'm like, God, help me to do what you want me to do. So it's, as I say, prayer is the key to this, because each step you still have to pray. You have to go back to prayer about it. So you have to be willing to be used by God. You have to be willing to take the step to move, and that is how you are going to grow in your spiritual life, because now you're starting to do things that are of God, and this is very important. So guys, thanks so much for watching this video. Remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe. So bye. I'm sorry for the noise in my background, but I mean, as soon as I press that play button, like the music gets a little louder, every bike start roll out, every dog start bark. So I'm really sorry. Bye.